All right, so we are streaming now. Just have to notify everyone that we are live. In this stream, plan to create a little table with like a plant on it, something like that. So it's going to be like a simple stream, basically. Simple video, hopefully. So try to just keep it to the basics this time, probably. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I'm going to add a blank tile set. Hey, Hezcore, welcome to the stream. Okay, so I'll make this tile set transparent. So this time I'm gonna kind of keep it a little simple this time. And I'm going to create like a table and maybe something on the table, like a plant or something like that. Just some simple basic stuff. So I'll just fill that in right there. And like I don't really have any plan right now besides that. So I'm just kind of thinking what to do first. I need like the top of the table basically. So I'll probably just create like a couple tiles or a few of them. Like that, just so that I have something to start with, something to work with. And maybe I'll do like something like this. It's going to keep it really basic this time. And maybe just like that. I mean, we'll start off basic. We'll start off simple. And then we'll slowly get a little bit more complex as we go. That's like the top of the table. And now I want to create some legs for it, basically, or at least this. I guess the side of the table as well. I should probably do that too. I just use like one tile for that. Maybe I'll use these at the bottom here. That'll be like the side of it. And you could probably do like a little shape to the edge, maybe something like that. And the legs will like extend down from there. Let's see, let's select that and there, and then add that. I suppose we could just trim this transparent bit off. Do that. Clip that, and delete those, and then we can kind of copy these and mirror them, reverse them, and then rotate them. Copy those. paste it there, and then rotate it around. So now we got like this edge to the table. That's cool. So now I want some legs for it. I'll just go over here to the side. Maybe I'll select these tiles and maybe legs will be that high. I don't know. We could trim it off a bit if we don't want it that long. Like that. Just keep it simple like that. Maybe I could put some shadowed part for the back area, something like that. And then I'll go back over here. I guess I could just select both of them. And I could place it. So I could place it there. I don't know, maybe just this. Push it back a bit. That. I'm going to down there a little. Split it there, split it there. I'm going to delete that, the transparent part. And this part I'm going to rotate it back like that. And I'll just copy that, paste it, rotate it. How should we do that? I guess I'll mirror it and then reverse it. There we go. And then I could like paint it a little lighter part on the corner there. It's kind of nice, I guess. It looks good. I guess the back area could kind of, I don't know, I think it needs another shade of gray. In this one and this one. I guess that's all right. You just copy those and those. That actually, to make it easier, copy it there, and then I'll just paste it there, rotate it, paste it there, rotate it, paste it there, rotate it. Okay, so now I got like this table thing. It's pretty simple. can also put a bottom side to it, I guess, if you want. Select that, and then maybe just do that like that. Actually, that's kind of weird. Move it down a bit. Hold Control and click on tile, and it'll select the nearest vertice. If you hold Control and click the tile. So that looks all right. Okay, so now I want to put something on top of it. I guess I can move everything up a bit. Hi, Master Core X. How's it going? We're just keeping it simple this time. Creating a table, and now we're gonna put something on top of it. Why is there a tile there? Weird. So yeah, I was thinking like some sort of vase with like flowers in it, or like a plant or something like that. So now we started with some basic rectangular square shapes with the table. Now we're gonna try and do a little bit more complicated stuff. Okay, so now I'm trying to think how to design the vase. I guess I'll start with a tile here, I guess. Maybe this tile over here. I need to choose a color for it. I'm thinking maybe like a light blue. That looks all right. I just randomly chose that, but I think I like that. You got the RGB values here. You could also switch between HSL, hue, saturation, and luminance, depending on your preference. I tend to like using the RGB scales because, I don't know, just that's what I'm used to, I guess. If you want things more saturated, well, how do I explain this? If you want to desaturate a color, you just kind of put all these scales close or nearer towards each other. If you want something more saturated, you kind of separate them a bit. First, let me add that color because I like it. Like, for example, the more left you go, the darker stuff gets. The more towards the right, the lighter stuff gets. If you want some saturation, you kind of put some separation between the RG and B values. So that's a very saturated green. We could also have a very saturated darker green by taking other colors out of it. But if you want to desaturate it, then you kind of pull these colors towards each other so there's less space between them. Or yeah. And it becomes a little bit more desaturated. because all the colors are balancing out and they're becoming more of a gray. Okay, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm comfortable with doing or using or whatever. So anyways, we got this blue hue, blue color. It's bluish, kind of desaturated because these values are kind of close together. I can make it more saturated by kind of separating these a bit. Now it's like a lot more saturated. Put them together, it's a little, now it's more desaturated, more gray. Anyways, I'm going to use that and just fill in that space there. And I have to kind of figure out how I want to plan the texture of the vase or whatever. I don't have to be too crazy about it. Since this is just demonstration, I can just kind of keep it simple, I guess. So maybe I'll have that. Maybe I'll copy it over. And how do I do that? Got it selected. Maybe I got to use that tool. Yeah, there we go. So maybe this one I could just kind of add some shading to it. So maybe I'll use like a darker blue. That. This is like going towards the underside of the vase, I suppose. Figure out how to shape it later, but I'm just kind of getting some texture work or some tiles to work with basically. Maybe we'll use a little darker color here. Kind of like that. Maybe I'll even out those spaces or make them about the same size. I don't know. For some reason, the mind likes to have some balance with stuff. For some reason, you know, like with what's the word? Symmetry. And when you look at someone's face, like the more symmetrical it looks, the more pleasing it is, I guess. I don't know. That's what they say anyways. So there must be something behind that. So I guess those colors work for now. And that could be like the bottom of the vase. So if I go back into like the marquee tool, maybe I could add some other details. Maybe like a rim for the vase. Yeah. So maybe I could put the rim right there. Oops, not there. Change that. And maybe I'll use like a brighter highlight type of color. Let's try that, see how that looks. Yeah, I guess that's all right. So maybe something like that. I don't know. That might work. We could always change it later if we need to. That'd be kind of like the rim of it. And then, I guess we could have like a base, like, what do you call it? Part that, like, it's like the opposite of the top. It's like, you know, the bottom of it, like the foot that kind of fans out, something like that. I don't know what it's called. It's just part of the vase. So maybe something like that. I don't know. Actually, let's make it a little nicer than that. Select this part. I'll just get rid of that. And maybe there's more of an edge to it right there. Although it's kind of bright now. It's brighter. Well, no, it isn't. I guess that's all right. We'll try that. We'll see how it goes. I have this envisioned in my mind how it's going to work. Okay, so we have these tiles here now that we've created. Now I'm just going to like select this one. And I got to position it. Maybe I'll adjust my rounding value to 4 just so it's easier to measure stuff as we, oops, sorry. There we go. So how big should it be? I don't know. I guess that's big enough, right? Keep the size of the towel, basically. Oh, it's inside the, oh wait, no, it isn't. Well, yeah, it is. Because I'm moving it 4 pixels. I'll move it down now. Okay, there it is. It's sitting on top of the table. Okay, so now I want to like make this round. Maybe I'll change it to this other one. Change it to that tile. Because that's more towards the bottom of it. Oh, but we also need the... Hang on. We need this part down here. So I'll just draw that. And I could trim that part off just like that. Might as well just put all these tiles together. So that's what I'm thinking with like the side of the vase. It'll all come together, I promise. It's not going to be that tall. You got to make it shorter. Okay, so let's see here. I want to, what do I want to do? I want to split that there. I could split that in half there. Why not? And maybe, yeah, right there, I guess. We could always change it later if we need to. Then I'm going to, let's see, I'll work my way up, I guess. I can move those back. And then move that like that. Maybe move that down. Let's see here. Maybe a little bit more precision so it makes it a little bit rounder, not too round. Like there. Do that. Yeah, keep it like that for now. And then maybe move that out of it. So now you can see it's getting a little bit more shape to it. So it's tall. I don't want it that tall. Oh, another thing that might be handy to do is select all the table tiles. We'll split it into its own object. I'll just select all these here. I think that's all the tiles, right? Yep. For all the table. So we have this table selected, all the tiles for it. Then we can just right click, go to faces, create object. So now it's its own object right there. If we go into the scene, we could rename it as table, of course. What do you think I was going to call it? So now it's a table and it's separated. So we kind of edit these other tiles without selecting stuff from the table, basically. Kind of keeps it kind of contained in its own little space, basically. And we could also edit it. We could hit enter and then we could start editing the table if we wanted to. If we wanted to make changes, or we could also add other tables to the scene now, like that. That's cool. But we don't want other tables in the scene. We don't need other tables. So now this this vase, let's get back onto the vase. Yeah, you appreciate that function, master core. I think you're talking about the objects, creating the objects. Yeah, it makes it a little easier to organize things. And you can also add layers and put all objects into certain layers, and then you could export them. That sort of thing. This is Crocotile 3D, by the way, I'm using. So I have to like figure out a shape that I like. It's kind of interesting. I'm kind of looking at like the silhouette of it, like the edge. It's kind of shaping it however I want it to look. I also want to kind of compress it down a bit because it's too tall. Alrighty. So now we're getting a little closer. It's still rather big, isn't it? We could just kind of cheat a little bit. We could go into transforms and see how should we resize it. We could kind of just resize it in half, basically. I wonder how that would look. It would look like that. That's a little more of the size that I want, I guess. Although it might become a little difficult to like move things around. Things are like at a fraction of the size. Might be all right. Let me check what my yeah, I guess they all align to the grid. If I move it up, I could still position stuff. Okay, yeah, I guess that'll work. I was checking like how the crosshair aligns with the vertices. Like if I move it down, oops, like that, it still kind of snaps to the grid basically. Okay, so I like that. But it's just like one side, very flat. We need to like curve it around. So how are we going to do that? I guess I could like add a I could add a split down. I could split these all down the middle. I'm trying to think how to keep it simple, basically. I'll just split them down the middle. Why not? It's like I'm trimming it. Cutting it with some scissors or something like that. And now, you know what would be cool? I just select these. I'm gonna experiment. Go like that. I'm just experimenting. Position it like that. I have those vertices still selected. I can just go into the transforms tool. And I could rotate it around the y-axis. 45 degrees. Whoa, that's weird. I think I like that. And I can do the same for this side over here. Make sure I select all of them. Come on, select all of them. Okay. And I'll just do the opposite direction. Rotate it like that. Now we got like this curve going on. That's pretty cool. It's gonna be like a big vase thing. I guess it's big. So now we have that. I could add some other shading to it, like as it wraps around. But let's just, should I work on the inside while I do this? That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Okay, I'll just leave it there for now. Now, it'd be smart to work on the inside before I do that. So let's go back into the tiles. You know what? I could just copy those, couldn't I? I could just copy them. Well, I'm just gonna, before I rotate stuff, I will copy, paste, and then reverse them. And maybe that could be like the thickness of it right there. How thick should it be? That thick or that thick? I guess that thick, since it's kind of large. And then these vertices I could trim out the other way like that. And I guess we need like a base to it. I guess this stuff. Move out like that. Okay, we'll do that. So that's like the inside of it. Guess that'll work. And then the top part of it. Although I guess these could, I'm going to change which part of the texture the inside uses. Oh, I like that. That's good. I like that right there. So that looks good. I think I like that. we could always, well, actually, trying to think and talk at the same time. I want to make sure that I have this kind of shaped the way that I want it to be shaped. Go back into transforms, maybe adjust that, and then I can just translate this to the left. -0.. I don't know how big, how much. Maybe apply that. That's too much. I should probably create an option to translate by pixel size. That would be good if I could do that, because that might make more sense if I had it that way. I don't know, that looks all right. This is just a demonstration, so I guess I don't have to be too precise with it, right? Well, what's going on there? Oh, it's because I have that set. Anyways, I guess that looks all right. Yeah. Use like a pixel size, an option for pixel size. Okay, so that's, I like that. But I want an inside to it. So I'll just copy all of this and I'll move it over. I'll put it right there. And I'll create a darker blue. And then I'll just do that. And maybe, I'll just leave that like that. Okay, so now I'll go back into the tile sets and I will, I guess I could select all of this, those tiles, and then I could go into the UV editor over here and I could edit them. I could just kind of click and drag all these and just drag them over to these other ones, and now that's changed like that. Now there's an inside and an outside to it. And you could also like mess with like the shape of the UVs and that sort of thing if you want to do that. So you have some control over that. And there's also like other ways to mess with it, like rotate it, align things, and stuff like that. You could scale it, adjust the UV precision when you're moving stuff. You could flip and rotate, flip mirror, things like that. So we have that now. And now what I'm going to do, turn that on so I can select stuff behind. Oops. Okay. I have those selected. Now I'm going to rotate it. Which way do I rotate it? That way, I think. Oh man, what? I'll have to be. See, how does this go? There we go. because I have it relative to the camera orientation, because I click that button right there. Then I'll do it to the other side. Whoa, that's cool. Create a triangle right there. Do it to the other side. That. And then we can just select everything, copy, paste, rotate it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now you have this kind of crazy looking pot on top of the table. It's round. Looks pretty good. It has a lip to it. I think that's what you call it. Yeah. I said I'd make a vase. Okay. Well, vase pot. I don't know the technical difference. What's the difference between those? I guess a vase you put water in a pot you put soil. Is that the difference? So depending on what you put in it, comes either a vase or a pot. I don't know. Or maybe that's the material it's made out of. Maybe a vase is like made of glass and pot's made of clay. Is that the difference? I don't know. You both they both are used to put something in, right? Or is it the shape that defines what it is? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. So, yeah. Okay, so now what do I want to do? I guess we gotta put something in it now. I was thinking just some kind of plant. Put some soil in it. Now we'll just focus on some plants. Although I kind of want to put like another highlight around the top rim of this. That should be easy. I just adjust the I can just paint on top of this. Oops. That looks kind of good. I could add some detail. Let's experiment a little bit. You know, we can do some kind of decoration stuff. That's the right word, right term? Decorative details. It's kind of cool. Add a bit of interest to it. Right? It's kind of interesting. Yeah, this is pretty cool looking. And I can see how it looks in the 3D view as I'm working it. I could have put like a symmetry line. Let's do that just to show that off. Okay, so I click that. Where's my symmetry line? It's over there, so I click and drag it right here, maybe right there. With that symmetry line, you know, anything I do to this side, it's done to the other side. I already did one side, so that was kind of pointless, but you could use that to kind of make some symmetrical details like that. Why is it like that? That's kind of weird. Is that a bug? That might be a bug. Okay, I'll have to take a note of that because I just found a bug. Okay, so I'll have to fix that because when I was using the symmetry line, it wasn't showing what I did on the 3D tiles. That's a bit concerning. I'll have to look into that. Symmetry thing was only recently added, so there might be some issue with it. See how that looks from a distance. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't like the bottom part. I like that part. Yeah, that looks a bit better, I guess. Nah, I'll change that. Oops. Okay, how does that look? I think I like that a little bit better. It flows a bit better for some reason. Whatever, I'll move on to the plants now. So we need to like draw those into the texture, the tile set. Maybe I'll put them down there. I'll just select all this. Go into the painting. And maybe this area right here can be used for plants. Thanks, Mastercore. Yeah, it's looking good. I need to choose a color for the plant, some kind of green color. Maybe that will work. Maybe a little bit darker, maybe a little lighter. And it seems about right. Maybe right there. No. Maybe a little bit more blue. Slightly more blue. Yeah, let's try that. We can always change it. Okay, so now I have to figure out I'm trying to imagine what I want to come out of it. We could do like some sort of, what do you call it? A fern? Yeah, those fern things, you know. So it's a little bit more feathered look rather than just a plain like leaf type thing. So we'll try and do that sort of thing. Now I just have to kind of figure out how I'm going to draw it onto the texture tile set thing. So I'll start with, I guess I could always just like reposition stuff later if I need to. I'll need to create a couple different values of the green just so that I have something to work with. It'd be good if I had a reference, but I'm not going to bother. I'll just make it up. Guess that looks kind of like a fern. I don't know. Depends how detailed you want to get with that, I suppose. And what type of structure you want to illustrate, I guess. I'm kind of making it, what's the word? Uniform, kind of ordered, because the geometry of it, when we start placing the tiles in, we could shape the geometry, and that's going to cause it to look more organic and that sort of stuff. So I'm just kind of experimenting with the color and things like that. Maybe I'll have it shaded this way, of the light catching it from this side instead. His core. Oh wait, that's not his core. Everybody has similar looking names. Henejo. I think I haven't used that, so I'm not sure. I don't use Blender because I don't like the complexity of it. For my mind, I like more minimal stuff because it's easier to look at. Because I'm a visual person, and you know, when I work with like programs that have like words everywhere and buttons and the interface is all crazy and you could do like 1,000 different things with it, like for me that just it overwhelms my senses basically. And for me, like when I try using those types of programs, it's like it's just it doesn't mesh well with me, I guess, with the way that my mind is, I guess, because I'm very connected like on a visual level because of all like the artwork that I do and that sort of thing. So like part of the reason that I created Crocotile is so that I have something that I could easily use without having too much distractions or things in the way. It just allows me to focus on doing the simple stuff that I wanted to do basically and get like results really quickly without having to like struggle with a program and figure out all the specific things to do the specific thing that I want to do. This is just Crocotile is just designed for basically low poly stuff, low resolution, simple things. Has a specific aesthetic to it. So we got that fern stuff. I guess it looks alright. We could always change it. If it doesn't look alright, we still have to like put it into the scene and figure out how it looks. We can change colors later if we want to. That's just part of the fern though. We could add a bit more to it. We also need the other side, I guess. Just copy this thing right here and paste it. And then I could copy that. Paste that over. Speed things up a bit. That's kind of cool. Maybe we could copy these, put it over there, and maybe we could flip it like that. Look at that. A little plant. And maybe we could put a little end tip to it. Looks pretty good, I guess. For the side of it. We need the other side though. I guess I could just copy it over. It'll look better when it's in the scene. Flip it up like that. Let's see, how do I want to do this? That good? Guess that looks alright. I think it needs to slightly come down just 1 pixel. All right, let's. Oh, it also needs a bottom to it. Needs the underside. I guess I could just copy this all and just adjust the colors just for like a quick quick edit of it, I guess. So I'll put it right there. Really, can maybe, I'm trying to see. I'll just put it right there then. Yeah, it's good. Select those, and then I'll just adjust the color. We'll need, we could adjust the colors later if we need to tweak things, but I'm just gonna quickly change them. I'm also gonna edit this a little bit. Like that. So that it looks more like the stem is underneath it. It also kind of, maybe if I select that, and then I can just easily draw through it like that. It's cool. So now it has a little shadow towards the edge of the stem. That looks good enough to me. We could also, we could always adjust that later if it doesn't look right. Let's go back into the tile set mode. Start placing stuff into the scene. So, So I'll move my crosshair up. We'll also have to kind of like resize this down, basically. The tile size is really big. Or we could just rescale everything up. Actually, that might be a good idea. That might be a good thing to try. I wonder. Let's see here. Save it first. Kind of curious. Just experimenting. Current unit scale. New unit scale 16. Current scale. Try 32. Apply that. Close that. Now it's larger. Okay, so I just made everything larger by double the amount. So now it's not that, doesn't look too, it doesn't look too odd, basically. It looks a little bit more like the correct size. And I could actually, before, let's select all those and create an object out of that. what should I call it? Should I call it a vase or should I call it a pot? Vase, pot. I'll call it a vat. That's good. I'll call it a vat. Copy, paste, reverse those. And they're selected, so I'll just go into the UV mode. Select all the UVs, pull them down. And now we got two sides basically. So now we could also add, we can make this a little longer. Okay, so just kind of playing with it, experimenting. That's pretty cool. It's like it's alive. It's like climbing out, trying to grab you. Oh, that's weird. I'm gonna trim off this transparent bits. We don't need those. So like that. So like that. I'll make it a little easier. Select these vertices. Add a little what's the word? Mass to it. Thickness. Okay, so I guess I gotta add a split down these. Actually, let me think about this. Just split the edges, maybe. No, because they're transparent. Actually, those could just be flat. All right, I got an idea. Split it there. I'll split it there, and I'll split it there and there. And now what I'll do is, what will I do? I'll delete that, and then I'll move this down here. Drag that. Wait a second. Is that what I want to do? Flip that around, drag that down there. Readjust these UVs. There we go, looks normal now. Just kind of readjusted the geometry, triangulation a bit. I'll do the bottom part as well. Let's see, delete that one, delete it. And take this down here. That up there. There you go. Now I could take that, move that down a bit, and that up. Come on, select it. There we go. Now it's like this, has a little bit of thickness as it tapers off towards the end. And we could also kind of narrow that a little bit, maybe. Although now those are kind of thick. I guess we could kind of narrow everything off. Let's see, how do we do that? Kind of like that, and Could rotate it. For instance, maybe we rotate it from there. We go back into transforms, rotate it across. Since it's relative to the camera orientation, we could probably do 5. That's the wrong direction. Do it that way. And then maybe deselect that. Now it's rotated. Look at that. Looks so cool. So we got some organic stuff flowing out of the pot or the vat that's sitting on the table. It's cool. We could add a bunch of them too, maybe. Like copy this one and just duplicate it. Maybe it could be a little smaller. We could maybe select it from there. Resize it. How much should we resize it? That looks pretty good. Pretty decent size. And I could just add it. I could just create an object like that. And I'll call it a fern, I guess. I guess that's what it is. And then I could like create a bunch of them maybe. Whoa. Like that. That. Look at that. So like I could even like rotate these. I get the arrow helpers on, and then I could change it to rotation. I could like rotate it this way. Maybe more that way. I could like rotate it different angles. Stuff like that. Maybe this one, rotate down there. Add some more. Pretty cool. Look at that. That's cool. Maybe I'll add one more. Put it right there. Rotate it. Something like that. Look at that. Okay, now what? Should I put like some flour coming out of it or something? I could try putting like some flour in there. Sticking up out the center of it. Although flowers are they're kind of complicated shapes if you think about it, because of all like the petals, and then it has like the bud has like a body to it, right? And then there's like stuff inside of it, the pollen and all that sort of thing. So they're kind of complicated. Let's see. It's gonna take a bit of time to figure out how to design sort of thing. Unless I just kind of rush it, kind of rough it in. That could be like the back of it, the body. And then, I guess I should probably model each petal should kind of be its own tile. I'll probably create a few of them. Just what color should I use? Maybe something like that. And then we can kind of get a different shade. I'm just kind of putting in some basic quick blocking it in, basically placeholder stuff. So we have that for like the petal, and then I guess the inside of it be like some type of color like that, I guess. And it could be like the pollen stuff inside of it. Just kind of doing this as like a placeholder, just so that I have something to work with. We can adjust it. We could make it look better after we design more of the shape, because I don't really have an idea as to how I'm going to do this. I just kind of, I have this generalized idea. So we have that, we have those tiles, we have that, and we have that. That'll be on the inside. That'll be kind of extended around the edges. And this will kind of be the back side of it. And we'll also need a stem. I just reused a stem from the fern, maybe. So let's just try it. Let's just try it. create it up here so that it's out of the way. I could also hide them. Oops. Hide the ferns if I want, like that. Anyways, so we have that. And I'll position those down just to kind of quickly do this. Position this out. Actually, I'll undo that. I have a plan. Okay, so that's like that. Okay. What's going on here? It's a bit weird. Why is it like that? Okay, so maybe I'll move. Well, all right. I will. Let's see here. We go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Center right there, I think. Maybe there. Size 1.25 maybe. Try that. 25. Apply that. It's good. Whoa. Kind of interesting. It's kind of round, kind of like the shape of that. I'm gonna put petals around it. Oh, what's going on? It's okay. It's okay. Probably set this to 1. I could probably just align vertices to grid. Does that fix it? No. Just kind of doing this really quick, so I've made some errors. Okay, so yeah, whatever. So now, so I'll add this petal thing. Okay, so I got to basically shape this. Guess I could put a backside to it as well before I do that. So just do a quick edit of it. That'll be the backside, and you can select all those, go into UV mode, select all those, move it down. Second, we gotta copy and paste them first. Copy, paste, reverse. And now I think we can move those. Yeah. Now I just got to select these. Those. Maybe move them like that. Kind of looks like a petal shape, I guess. Maybe move that like that. And maybe copy all those and see. How do I get the center of this thing? Do that and then hit C to, oh, that centers the camera. Maybe Shift C. Shift C centers it on there. And I'll just copy that, paste it, rotate it to the side. That. Copy those as well, and then just copy it again, paste it. That. And now we have those petals. But I want more than that, so I'm going to those. Actually, no, I'm going to. How am I going to do this? Copy those, paste those, and then I'm going to. Actually, I'm gonna. Hold on a second. Is that in the center? gotta make sure it's in the center of it. I think it's in the center. Okay. Copy paste. Oops. Undo that. Copy paste. Rotate it over there. Actually, no, I should rotate it up like that first. Then rotate it from this side. Seems okay there. I guess that's all right. I'm gonna adjust I'm going to pixel some of the texture so that it stands out a little bit better. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go back into this painting editor. And I'm going to add a bit more details along the edge. Maybe I'll select it first. All right. looks pretty good. And for the underside, oops, I need to select that. Just do the edges so that you can see them better when they're overlapping in the 3D view. A little better, I think. Something like that. And we could probably paint this a little more rendered, I guess. Shaded underneath. So that looks all right. And then, thanks his core. Yeah, I'm just doing it kind of quick, but I guess it looks pretty good for something really quick. I need to fill in that little centerpiece. That'll work. Maybe I could rotate it. Nah, I'll just leave it like that, I guess. Oops. Paste it. Isn't it pasting it? There we go. It's kind of cool. And then I could kind of paint this part. At the top. Like that. Maybe do something like that. I don't know. I guess it depends how much you want to tweak it. I'm just kind of doing it kind of quick. Not really too concerned about how it looks. Just as an example. I could spend more time making it more uniform and patterned as they usually are. You know, if you look at like flower or whatever, there's usually like a repetitive pattern in its structure and that sort of thing. But right, in this case, I'm just kind of making it all random. So that'll work. Sometimes it helps to get to imitate the same kind of shape over and over again. Kind of makes the mind feel like it's supposed to look that way. So, you know, not too random. That's all right. For the bottom of it, I guess since we've gone this far, we might as well add some kind of leafy thing on the base of it. They usually have like this, some extra leaves and stuff poking out the sides. Put it down there, I guess. Okay. That might work. Something like that. Just something simple. We could make a copy of that maybe and just kind of do that just so we have other option, I guess. Okay, so now go back in tile mode, save it, and hide these other things while we work on this, so it's easier to work on the bottom. All that other stuff's hidden. Oh, we need a top and bottom view, don't we? I'll just use this for now. I could just fill in this hole first. Okay. It's doing this. It's kind of quick, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really put much thought into it. I guess that'll work. Call it a flower. resize it. How big should we make it? Maybe something like that. Needs a stem though. Okay, so let's see. I just go in here and select these, copy that, exit out of there, paste it. Now we have this stem thing. Okay. And maybe do some rotation stuff. Yeah, looks pretty good. Look at that. Yeah, that looks good. It's a flower. We got some ferns coming out of it. We got this vase thing. We got this table. That's pretty cool. And we could hide that. That's weird. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. And then we could also, I don't know. Looks good to me. Flower vase, fern table. Yeah. So I guess that's going to do it for this stream. There's all the tiles, all the texture work that we did. Pretty simple. And yeah, wasn't too difficult. Kind of did a few things kind of quickly. I guess I could, you know, just to polish things off a little bit, take that color and just kind of add a little highlight on there, right there. I'll make it look a little bit nicer. Bit better like that. All right, so that's going to do it for this stream. This is Crocotile 3D. You could check it out. You can download it. You could test it. Build your own stuff with it. Crocotile3D.com. Create some low poly stuff using tile sets and things like that. So yeah, if you have any questions or want to see anything specific, just leave a comment. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. Leave a like, follow, all that sort of thing. Kind of helps the channel, kind of helps push things with the algorithm and getting other people to discover it and that sort of stuff. It's kind of always fun seeing what other people can make with it. You could look on the website at the gallery and see screenshots of things other people have made. And yeah, people have made some games with it, created assets for their games and that sort of stuff. It's always cool to see. We have a Discord channel. You could join that, chat with other people that are using Crocotile 3D, share your work, get feedback, get help if you're learning how to use it. Simple program. Has a minimal design, focused on low poly, pixel, low resolution type of stuff. So yeah, check it out. It's available on Steam as well. I think I've mentioned everything. I'm reworking the documentation currently, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, check it all out. And that's all for now. See ya.